What is going on, everybody, and welcome back to another Yu-Gi-Oh! OCG TCG video. Today, guys, we are going to be going over the new Appliancer support that is set to release in Animation Chronicles 2021. Now, yes, this is another video in regards to Animation Chronicles, but I did mention that there was a lot of support for Animation Chronicles. You know, I went over the D-Hero support, I went over the fake number card and its supports, I went over the Cypher support, and now I'm going over the Appliancer support in this set. And that's not even the half of it. I mean, you still have the Starving Venemy card that was announced, Yaoi, Numeron Storm. I think recently we got like a Speedroid card and a Lyralust card, so that's stuff we got to go over as well. And not even just for Animation Chronicles, you know, you have the stuff for the Overlay Universe, with that new Sexual server, Xyz monster. I'm very excited to cover that. The new Flunderies archetype, the Magic Key support that we got as well in Burst of Destiny, as well as the Penguin support in that set as well. So there's just been a lot of news in regards to the OCG and the potential TCG. So yeah, there's just expected to be a lot of news in it, and it was just Animation Chronicles just had the biggest amount of it. But with all of that out of the way, in regards to those things that I was mentioning earlier, that's for another video. This video is more focused on the Appliancers, the two new cards for the Appliancer archetype, and I'm very excited to discuss it with you guys. But without further ado, let's not waste any more time, and let's get right into it. So the first card that we're going to be going over is actually from the extra deck, as there was no announcements of an effect monster that's going to be coming, which I do believe all the effect monsters that were used in the anime, which basically is what this whole set is all about, which I guess it's kind of the manga, but Appliancers never had a manga counterpart, so it's different. But all the effect monsters that were in the anime have been already printed, so I'm not surprised. But we do have a Link monster that had not gotten printed, and I was actually very shocked to learn that it didn't get a printing already, and it was Appliancer Propel Line, which I'm pretty sure is either the second or third Link monster that Robopi used in Yu-Gi-Oh! Reigns. So it's very interesting that now, after a year after Yu-Gi-Oh! Reigns had shown this deck, it is finally coming out. So that's pretty interesting. But Appliancer Propel Lion is a Link 1 Wind Machine Link effect monster with 1200 attack and a Link rating of the top middle. Its materials is one Appliancer monster, which obviously this archetype is all Appliancers. I think every single one of the Appliancer monsters does require an Appliancer monster. So yeah, a little bit hard to summon because obviously you do need an Appliancer monster. And as you can see from the first effect, cannot be used as link material the turn that this card is link summoned. So you have to wait a turn before you can actually link summon into your other things. So hopefully your other effect monsters, your three effect monsters, can get you other Appliancer monsters. So I don't know, but let's get into the three effects of this. The first effect, this card can attack directly. That's actually pretty nice to be able to deal 1200 points in damage, or a little bit more if you use that Octopus's effect. I can't remember what that Appliancer's name is. The second effect, once per turn, soft once per turn, during damage calculation, if your monster battles an opponent's monster and this card is co-linked, you can change your opponent's battling monster's attack to 0 during that damage calculation only. And the third effect is once per turn during damage calculation, if this card that is not co-linked battles an opponent's monster, you can change your opponent's battling monster's attack to 0 during the damage calculation only. And you can really see from just those two effects, basically the whole gimmick of Appliancers. Basically, they gain an effect depending if they're co-linked or not. And in this case, whether it's co-linked or not, your opponent's monster is still going to lose all of its attack points. The only difference is if it's co-linked, it can be any one of your monsters that's battling. But if it's not co-linked, it specifically has to be Propel Line, which it's alright. It's nice to be able to make your opponent's monster's attack points go down to 0 and be able to deal big damage. And if you can keep some protection onto your Appliancer monsters, I really don't think this is a bad effect. I would have liked if it gives protection, but obviously not every card is going to give protection, so that's completely fine. As long as you can get some protection into it, that is completely fine. But overall, it's not that bad of a card, to be completely honest. I think it's pretty decent for the Appliancer archetype. So pretty interesting card to start off with, but now that is going to be it for the extra deck. Literally, there was only one extra deck monster, and now we're going to go into the spell card for this deck. And that spell card is the quick play spell card, Appliancer Conversion. Its effect is you can only use the first and second effect of this card's name each once per turn. The first effect, banish as many Appliancer Link monsters in your main monster zone as possible. Then you can special summon your banish Appliancer Link monsters up to the number of monsters banished by this effect. Okay, so if you have a couple of banished Appliancers in your banish zone, basically if you need to use those, activate this spell card, target one of your Appliancers in your main monster zone, one or two depending on what you want to target, basically banish those cards, then you can get those cards back and use that advantage. So that's actually, honestly, I don't think that's that bad of an effect, to be completely honest. I actually think that's a pretty decent effect for this archetype. And the second effect is during your main phase, if this card is in your graveyard, except the turn it was sent there, you can banish one other Appliancer spell and trap from your graveyard, add this card to your hand. I actually like that. Okay, this card got a lot better because, yeah, you do have to wait a turn before you actually have to activate this, which is normal when it comes to these cards. They don't like you being able to loop as easily, but it's still looping because all you have to do is just banish a Appliancer spell and trap card, and basically you can get this card back, activate this card's effect, be able to pop the monsters that you might not need to use them anymore, and bring back the ones that you banished the first time. So, generally speaking, this card is honestly not that bad. Being able to target your banished Appliancer monsters and bringing them back into the field and being able to get their benefits, and then potentially later on your next turn by banishing an Appliancer spell and trap card, getting this card back, activating it, and basically getting back the monsters you originally had banished and being able to get them back on the field. Which, funny enough, if you get banished copies of the same card, you can basically be switching them off, and if they don't have a hard, if they have a soft once per turn like Propel Lion, like say for example you're doing Propel Lion, you can benefit its effect because it's a soft once per turn. And this is a quick play spell card, so you can do this during the battle phase. So that's actually pretty strong when you really think about it from that perspective. So, this is actually really not that bad of a card at all, if I'm going to be completely honest. But guys, that's going to be it for the Appliancer support. Generally speaking, what were my thoughts on this support? I actually think this is some pretty interesting support for the Appliancers. Now, it's interesting. Propel Lion is honestly not that bad. Being able to make your opponent's monsters attack point 0 is pretty nice. Being able to deal big damage if you're able to protect this card by other effects, might I add, because this card gives no protection whatsoever. So if you're able to give the right protection on it, being able to do that extra amount of damage is pretty nice. And then Appliancer Conversion, I do think, is the stronger card out of the two. Being able to basically get back one of your banished Appliancer monsters and maybe doing a loop with the same card, being able to activate their effects, obviously, if they're all soft once per turns. Because I'm going to be completely honest, Appliancers is a deck that I'm a little bit weaker towards because it's been a deck that I really never took an interest into. It was just, I don't know, it's one of those decks that I never got really attached to, if I'm going to be completely honest. So I'm a little bit weak when it comes to this, but honestly, from just reading this, if a lot of the Appliancers have soft once per turn, you're able to basically activate the effect twice because you can activate this card, basically bring back another copy that was maybe banished from some time earlier in the duel, and basically you can activate that effect, whether it's co-link or not, that's up to your choice, once per turn, or soft once per turn, so basically you can activate it twice. So that's actually pretty nice. I actually do like the support for the Appliancers. And will this boost the Appliancers? I think it has some potential to actually boost them. Now, if you're wanting to play this competitively, that's a different story. But casually, it might be nice to actually get these two cards for your Appliancer deck. But with that being said, that is going to be it for this OCG TCG video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know what you guys think of the Appliancer support. Do you think this support was good? Do you think the support was okay? Or do you not think the support is not good at all? And let me know what you guys think of Appliancers in general. Do you like the archetype? Do you think the archetype is okay? Or are you just not really that interested in the Appliancer archetype. Again, this is a very recent archetype, so I would really like to know your guys' thoughts on this archetype as a whole. But guys, that is going to be it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, guys, take care and have yourselves a great rest of your day.